So, welcome everybody to a new video about the System Architect in the SAFe framework. I want to talk about 4 things that are important for a system architect, things I learned myself, and that will help new system architects to know what they're doing, to get into the job faster and not get surprised. First, let's look about what system architect in SAFe actually is. So, the system architect works together with the product management as well as the RTE. Those together are the program management, and they work to make this product successful. They're responsible for it. The SA, system architect, is the technical role, obviously, as the product management is basically everything. He's like the CEO of the product, while the system architect is more the CTO of a product. And we'll see how this plays out in practice. What is an art then? Because those are roles inside of an art. An art are 50 to 130 people that work on a certain product. They work on it end to end. And obviously SAFe, the scaled agile, can blow up to much bigger sizes, like solutions with thousands of people working somewhat coordinated and with different roles, as you can see, solution architects or enterprise architects. So when you come to the system architect role, you may think, okay, now you do super fancy designs and think really a lot about architecture because you have those 50 to 100 people who do things. So your architecture has to be perfect, and you do a lot of deep work and focus and build the thing. I thought so in the beginning. But I quickly learned, well, as a system architect, you are responsible for the system. So you need to make sure that it's stable, that it can release on demand, and that it's available all the time, that you can adjust it or add features relatively easy. So from my idea of building system and building architectures and thinking about the thing, it came very quickly to, well, I invite a lot of people and think about what we do together, learning about the system, but also talking with customers a lot and try to understand what they actually want to achieve. And I also talk with the product management, obviously, a lot, because we are together building this system. And so as an SA, you're basically part-time product management as well. Because product management is super hard. It's a super demanding role, as is SA, but only together you can build a great product. So it's important that you know what the other is doing, and you work together on things to actually achieve a good outcome. And if you have a good product manager at your side, it's a really great duo there. It's a lot of fun. So the most important thing is, in my opinion, leadership. You have 50 to over 100 people, and they need to have confidence in you. They need to have confidence in your decisions. Otherwise, the whole thing will not work properly. So you need to integrate all those ideas which they have, but then come to your own decision how to move forward. And this might mean you need to make tough decisions at some point. Well, you as a system architect are responsible, so you need to make tough decisions at some point. But it also means that you communicate them properly, so people understand why you took those decisions. But also, it is very important that you project confidence, inside of your project, but also to the outside stakeholders, so they don't lose confidence in the product. If something goes wrong, if the availability wasn't good enough, you need to step out and say, well, we had it under control, we know why it is, we are already fixing it. You need to project confidence outside of your art as well, not for your developers, but also to the stakeholders, to business. In my opinion, the best way to keep good people is to actually help them grow and put them in a position that they can easily leave, so to speak. But if people grow and they get challenged and they get looked after and cared for, this is a good thing, and this will actually make them stay longer, at least high potential people. So definitely invest in your good people, really mentor them, help them like to see things from your perspective, why you take those decisions, give them opportunities to grow. So this will go a long way, and they will respect you more as well and give you better insight and better information. So this helps you to do a better job, and helps them as well. Let's look at it from a more technical point of view. Like, make decisions. I already talked about that. You're responsible, so make the decisions. And it's not about picking the best decision possible. No place for paralysis by analysis here. So it's always about making a decision work, and not about picking the best decision humanly possible, because you will never have all the information. So think about how you can, or what a solution means down the road, and if you can live with the consequences there and with the effort there, and then pick a solution, or a solution for a problem based on the costs down the road, and think about if you can make it work. Like, always remember the great Yogi Berra: if there is a fork in the road, you have to take it. So this is basically the idea there. Take decisions, but make sure you can make them happen. And also delegate a lot of responsibility to your team, but only if they can handle it. Like, if you have a super mature team and they are super confident in what they do, they have a lot of experience, they know what you expect from them and the others expect from them, you can delegate a lot there. But if they are new, not so senior, not used to how this works, freedom is actually something pretty scary for a lot of people. So just delegating all the decisions and responsibilities is not the default behavior, in my opinion. But you have to work with them together to get to a point where they actually thrive on responsibility and freedom. So I already talked about mentoring. This is something you can achieve or strive for with your people, or maybe you're surrounded by very good people who already like to work in the way, then it's great, obviously. But take your time for especially junior people, to teach them and to give them all the information they need and help them grow into responsibility, and not drown them with it, and they will not be motivated by that. This leads to a paralysis because they have no idea what to expect and what to do there. So this is definitely something to keep an eye out. Another thing is, only you as an SA are aware of the super high level picture. Like, all your teams will most likely be experts. They are domain experts. They know a little tiny bit of the system very, very well, and have no idea about the rest. I certainly was a domain expert for over 10 years. I know my stuff very well, and I have no idea about the rest of the world. Well, I'm a curious guy, so I know a little bit, but not enough to make holistic decisions about the whole system. This is where you as a system architect comes in. You are responsible to provide the context. Teach them or show them what are the requirements from the business, from the customers, from other systems are around, maybe from other arts, maybe from some stakeholders, maybe legal or compliance have some regulations as well. You need to keep those in mind and balance those. This is why you sometimes have to make tough decisions that are not super technical in nature, but it's important for the whole system, and you need to bring this overview point to help to understand your teams, why you chose some decisions. always think you want to reach a global optimum and not the local optimum. So it's always worth it to detach a little bit and to really think what is going on here, what is the optimal way to go forward at this point, and not optimize for the next baby step to get something a little bit better. Sometimes it's worth it to go a step back and think about where you actually want to go, like high level strategic vision planning. And another thing that I think is very important is just a mindset thing. Just take the responsibility for the system. If I take this full responsibility for the system, I think different about it. I live it different. It's just a way to get more engaged, to get more motivated, but also to keep the priorities straight. You own the system. You are responsible that it's running in the night all the time, that customers are happy with it, with the performance, that you can deliver feature. Yeah, take ownership of it, and if it needs to be, also fight for a good quality system with your product manager. At some point, he wants features and you want stability. So, yeah, keep that in mind. If you own it, you have a good relationship with your product. The third big thing I want to talk about is the maximize things not done. Well, it's it sounds really nice, but it's actually, it's more an art than a science, I think. It's difficult to know and to identify stuff that you actually not really need. It's always important to iterate, get something done today and see if it actually fixes the problem, iterate from there. It's better to fix something today than everything tomorrow or another day. Always think super small increments in fixing, not in strategic where we want to go. There you need you need the super bird's eye view. You need to know where you want to go roughly, but for the actual implementation, cut it as small as you possibly can. Really iterate or deliver often and small increments and test and see, does this actually help? Does it make everything else better? Because those things, they snowball. If you deliver small fixes and small improvements over time, everything else goes faster and faster and faster thereafter. So really try to optimize for things not done, to cut out things that are not really needed, to get to the things that are actually valuable really, really quickly. Then look from there where you want to go. So you probably already figured it out, but it's a super demanding role, like product management as well. It's not a default 40-hour per week job. It's really demanding, a lot of customer interactions, a lot of tough talk at some point with people, a lot of decision making with incomplete information. You need to actually want to do something like that. You need to have a strong will to build something, to create customer value, to work with people together, to figure out the best solution, to work on problems and fixing them relatively quickly. So if you thrive on that, this is a great role in my opinion, but it's definitely not for everybody. So figure this out in advance. Otherwise, you're in for some tough time in the beginning, at least till you get used to it. And with that, thank you very much for listening. I hope this helped you